We've got a very high teen pregnancy rate. We've got recent reports of high dropout rates for high schoolers. We're not getting through a 4-year graduation rate, sometimes 5, sometimes 6, but we're not turning it around in 4 years at an appropriate level for most people. A lot of teenagers complain there's frankly not much to do in Albuquerque. We've had some recent headlines of clubs being raided, finding young teenagers inside them because they feel like there's just nothing to do. Let me start with Mr. Romero on this. What can a mayor do to make life a little more enriching and good for teenagers here so they get a good start in life and become kind of citizens we'd all like to be as adults?
Well, I really believe that education is a key, and we need to start by working with our public schools. You know, the unfortunate fact is that we have a mayor who really has been at war, not only with the city council, but also with the public schools. He's been kicking them around. As a matter of fact, a few years ago, he wanted to take over the administration of the schools. I don't think you can improve the schools if you beat up on them. You need to work with the schools. See what we can do for our young people. You know, it used to be that when kids dropped out of school, they dropped out into our economy or they dropped into the military. You know that the military is very selective, and you know that the economy now, because we don't have a manufacturing base because it's all been outsourced, can no longer absorb it. So they drop out into the street and they end up getting into a world of crime. We need to do better, but I really believe that if we work together rather than fight each other, I think we can do much better with our young people here in Albuquerque.
I'm pleased to have the support of the President of the Albuquerque School Board, and I think that is very significant in terms of my ability to work with people. Here's what we're doing. First off, we've got to engage young people. That's why we have the middle school initiative, the after-school initiatives that we have. That's why in 2 weeks I invite you all to the grand opening of Warehouse 508 downtown. It's the first center in Albuquerque by teens for teens. Santa Fe beat us by 10 years, but we're there now. We're going to open it here very shortly. It's why we started a program in APS this year where we're training all the educational assistants and the teachers in how to recognize the signs of clinical depression. I want every teenager in Albuquerque to participate and to experience the completeness and the fullness of their youth. And if they suffer from mental depression, mental health problems, they're not going to be there. So we're going to get them identified, directed to service, so that they can perform and enjoy their lives to the fullest.
Well, I know a little something about teenagers. I've got a brand new one at home. So we're working on that at our house right now as we speak. I think what's important to remember is this. If we don't give our teenagers and our children a bright future, if we don't give our children good opportunities, there's going to be someone out there that's going to give them dark opportunities. There's gangs waiting to recruit members. There are all kinds of pitfalls for our children if they don't have good opportunities. Let me tell you a little bit about what I've done in the legislature in this regard. One of the things that I feel in the educational administration that's going on today is there's not enough money being spent on kids that aren't college bound. So I've worked for 2 years on a program. We're still working on it, and I'm going to bring this into the city to allow students to get in front of industry experts. Give them a reason to go back to their school books and say, I need to know geometry, and here's why. I've met somebody who's going to teach me a skill. I really do have a bright future. There's something waiting for me. I understand why I need to go to school, number one, why I need to graduate, why I need to get my communication skills, what I need to do. I'm a big fan of youth sports, youth programs, whether it's art, music, sports. And I think that's something we can do more at a higher level of the city.
I've made it a practice throughout my tenure as your mayor to visit a different school every week or have a classroom into the office. I want the kids to be around mayors. And I was lamenting to a teacher here not long ago about how fractured families are and how much more complicated that must make teachers' jobs and how difficult it was for kids. And she said, you know what, Mayor, it's unfortunate families are broken up, but all a kid needs is one adult to believe in them, to love them, to lift them up, to invest in them. The kid's going to be okay.
You know, it's amazing. The mayor, Wallago, mentioned that he had the support of the president of the school board. I believe that's the only school board member that's supporting him. I've talked to many school board members. They really, really don't appreciate the attitude that the mayor has towards the school system. It's one of confrontation. It's one of bullying. We really need to work with them. We just cannot afford to be fighting them. We have way too much to lose. Thank you.
Once again, it's about providing opportunities. We need to restore the youth gang prevention programs that were cut in the city budget last year. Thank goodness APS was there to fill those with stimulus dollars, but those are one-time dollars. We need to give our kids a running start, give them a chance, let them know that as a government we care about them, get their folks back to their jobs so they can afford the things that their children need to have a bright future as well. It's about opportunities. It's about giving our kids a bright future.